Hi, my name is Kimberly Causey, and I am doing a speech about finding a cure for juvenile diabetes and the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And here's my audience. My main goal is to make people more aware of type 1 diabetes and the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation International. I want people to realize that donating to this foundation will provide for more research toward preventing the disease in the youth of the world. Every hour of every day, someone is diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, the most severe form of diabetes that annually accounts for more than $100 billion in healthcare costs in the U.S. alone, which is stated on the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation site. The reason that I chose this subject is because my father suffered from type 1 diabetes, and he had it ever since he was 2 years old. And it's a really unfortunate disease, and there's no way to prevent it. It just happened. And I've always donated to this foundation, and I want to make people more aware of it and to hopefully donate to it to find more cures, well, to find a cure. My main idea is to make people more aware, and hopefully they will donate. What is diabetes? Diabetes is the name given to disorders in which the body has trouble regulating its blood glucose, or blood sugar levels. Type 1 diabetes is juvenile diabetes, or insulin-dependent diabetes, is a disorder of the body's immune system. Basically what this disease does, it destroys the cells in the pancreas that form insulin, and people who have type 1 diabetes need to take insulin in order to live after those cells are destroyed. And what does Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation do? They use their funds to find a cure for diabetes through supportive research. And diabetes is very costly on the people who have to live with it, and for the government to pay for healthcare costs. With a cure, we would no longer have these costs, and the government would be able to focus on other important causes. But for right now, diabetes is a major killer in the U.S., and we have to worry about it, and they focus a lot of their funding on it. Let me show you a chart. That's my other chart. This is the mean and yearly total of medical expenditures for patients with type 1 diabetes and matched controls. It basically shows the hospital inpatient and costs for people who have type 1 diabetes. Like, for instance, it costs someone about yearly $3,506, whereas someone without it would only cost like $956. The fact that this foundation is attempting to help the economy by searching for a cure is one great reason to donate to them. Another reason to donate is to keep the research toward finding a cure for the disease that hurts so many of the nation's youth. When you support a foundation like the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, you are also helping to find a cure for a disease that forces children at a young age to endure insulin shots and constant visits to hospitals. These children with diabetes have prolonged infections that occur, whereas children without diabetes will heal from a simple skin infection at a normal pace. This is a chart of a child with diabetes versus a child without diabetes, and the infections and how they have the more frequent infections, whereas someone without diabetes doesn't have as many infections. The JDRF is always looking for a cure, and they've donated $20 million to the Harvard Medical School. They hope to find a way to transplant insulin-producing cells from the pancreas. And research efforts like this make it to where this foundation keeps us is the top diabetes foundation in the world, or is one of them. And they're always awarding researchers with funds, and last year alone they funded $107 million towards diabetes research. This foundation has donated more than $1.5 billion to diabetes research, and more than 80% directly supports research and research-related education. And I want everyone to think about possible effects of a cure for diabetes, what a cure for diabetes would bring, and how that would allow us to be less frightened for the nation's youth as well. When you support the JDRF, you're donating toward a foundation that only wants the best for the nation economically and our youth. Diabetes is a dangerous, life-threatening disease, and it costs the U.S. millions and threatens the lives of children of the world. Although the organization has generated many funds, it still requires more because they are hopefully going to be able to develop a cure for diabetes. All I wanted from this speech was to make you more aware of the dangers of type 1 diabetes and to hopefully convince you to donate anything you can spare towards the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, because your donation would bring us one step closer to finding a cure. If you would visit the www.jdrf.org and read all about the children who suffer from it and also older adults who suffer from it, you'll see the severity of it, and I hope that you will take my words today and decide that you wish to donate to a foundation that looks to find a cure for this tragic disease.